No DQ Galaxy. We are live with a recap of Monday Night Raw for Monday, July 18th, 2022, as we continue on the road to Summerslam in Nashville, Tennessee. Shout out to everybody watching this, whether it's live or on demand. Thank you very much for your support. Let's get right into the recap. Raw this week was in Tampa, Florida, and we had Tampa's own Titus O'Neil introduce the show. He brought up his job as the global ambassador of WWE, talked about how the company is doing good, and they do not talk about divisive topics such as politics and religion, right? He said that WWE is a place to be safe, a safe haven for everybody. He said everyone's there to have a good time, and he welcomed everybody to Monday Night Raw. Is this done because of the whole Vince McMahon situation? Who knows? But yeah, Titus O'Neil with a little feel-good message to start off the show. And then we had footage shown from last week with Bianca Belair being counted out, being distracted by Becky Lynch, and that led to our opening match, Bianca Belair versus Carmella, again, because last week Carmella did win via countout since Bianca was stupid. But before the match, big time Becky Lynch came to the ring, cut a promo. She said that she is the big time Bex Express, and when she becomes unhinged, she cannot be stopped. Bianca Belair then arrived, said that this year's SummerSlam will be her comeback story completed from last year's SummerSlam. She is going to kick Becky's caboose right back to Ireland. Then Carmella arrived, said the biggest mistake Bianca is making is to overlook her, said that she is a badass with a great ass, and talked about how she beat Bianca last week. Big fight broke out, 2-on-1 situation. Becky Lynch laid out Bianca with the manhandle slam. Corey Graves screamed to the referee to start the match. And we had our commercial break. And when we came back, we did, in fact, have our match. Now, Hamp Cano, real quick, sent in a $5 super chat. Thank you, Hamp. He says, this day in history, 2010, the first ever Money in the Bank event was held in Kansas City, Missouri. Kane and The Miz would win for their brands. Thank you for that piece of wrestling history, Hamp Connell. The Miz, of course, would go on to cash in and win the title. Kane did too. I believe it was the same night. He might have been the first person to cash in on the same night. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. Anyways, the stipulation in this match, it was a title match. Bianca Belair could not be counted out or she would lose the title. So, of course, Becky Lynch doing the distractions again, and Carmella would send Bianca into the ring post, try to have Bianca counted out. Bianca would get back in the ring. They ended up on the outside again, and Carmella sent over Bianca to the timekeeper table. But again, Bianca beat the count. Carmella tried to win the match with her feet on the ropes. That did not work. Carmella came off the top with a crossbody attempt, but Bianca caught her, hit a big suplex. Carmella recovered from that, slapped Bianca. That fired her up. Bianca then hit the KOD and scored the victory over Bianca. So thankfully, we are done with this. It looks like no triple threat, no more Carmella, at least for now. 3 weeks from now, who knows? Afterwards, Becky Lynch got in the ring and held up Bianca's title. then dropped it to show her disrespect, and then she simply walked away. So it is official. Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch. And later in the show, there was a video package hyping up Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch. Good video package. And hopefully this is the end of the feud, and it's the conclusion to this year-long storyline between these two ladies. And TJS sent in a super chat, which I will answer at the end. Thank you for that, though. D. Martin 5th sent in a $5 super chat, says, it was kind of a nice change of pace to have someone else and different open the show. Hashtag Titus O'Neil. Yeah, I mean, it was a nice little promo, but I wonder if the whole Vince McMahon situation was the reason for this. Titus going out there talking about how much good WWE does and all that stuff. Like, I want to believe it was done for the right reason. You know, they're in Tampa, Titus O'Neil, hometown guy, saying something nice, give him some TV time. But I always question WWE's motives for things. Now, moving on here, and I will get to TJS in just a little bit. We had the Street Profits backstage cutting a promo. They, I should say, were not worried about Double J, Jeff Jarrett, being the special guest referee at SummerSlam when the Profits challenged the Usos for the unified tag team titles. And Jeff Jarrett's going to be a busy man that weekend. We'll get to that in just a few minutes. And Psycho Jet Black sent in a $2 super chat. Again, I'll get to that at the end, so I'm not getting off topic here. We had Omos and MVP interrupting the Street Profits, and MVP said, lucky for them, Omos was not the special guest referee. And Dawkins versus Omos was set up for later. We then had the return of Kevin Owens back from his about a month hiatus. Reports stated that he was dealing with a minor injury. Don't think it was COVID because he was at that Canucks game the other week. So Matt Riddle was the special guest for the KO show, and Riddle was promised some Mountain Dew Baja Blast. What is he, Noah Foster? Owens had no idea what he was talking about. Owens talked about the reason he took time off in storyline was because Ezekiel was making him lose his mind, so he had to go on a nature retreat. He brought up how Rollins used to be his best friend but betrayed him. Owens said that Riddle knows what it's like to lose a best friend, with Randy Orton being out of commission. Owens said maybe they could form a team. Instead of RK Bro, they could be Bro KO. Riddle basically turned it down, even though the crowd liked this. They actually popped for the idea. Riddle said Owens is a big liar, and Owens said that's not true. He turned over a new leaf, and Owens said that Riddle trusted Randy Orton, the biggest snake in WWE. Riddle did not appreciate this and said he's done talking. All of a sudden, we had the burn it down line from Rollins' music playing. No Rollins, though. Riddle was wanting to know what's up. Owens said he had no idea. And then all of a sudden, Seth freaking Rollins came in with a sneak attack, hit a stomp, and then hit a second stomp, and that took down Riddle. They are fighting at SummerSlam. No surprise here. That match was already established. Over the past few weeks, it's been built up. I'm kind of sad. Bro KO. I liked it. I agree with Walter. It has a nice ring to it. I'm not sure if this storyline with Ezekiel is being dropped. I mean, with Owens coming back 2 weeks before SummerSlam, kind of late to throw him into a match, but we'll see. We had some footage shown of Rey Mysterio losing to Finn Balor last week. And we had Rey Mysterio going up against Damian Priest. Now, before the match, you had a promo from Judgment Day. They said that they believe Dominic will make the right decision. They showed the footage of what they did to Edge. We then had the match. Rey was dealing with Finn Balor on the outside. Damian Priest took control for a while, worked over Rey. Priest then got sent into the ring post. Rey made a comeback, went for the 619, but Balor got on the apron. Dominic knocked him off the apron, and then Rey did a drop kick to Balor. However, Balor got sent into Dominic. So could that be a little tease for the breakup? We'll see. Back in the ring, Rey hit the 619. He went for the seated senton off the top, but he got caught. Priest turned that into the Razor's Edge, and he picked up the 1-2-3 victory. Rey loses again, and then afterwards they got the chairs. They were going to do the concerto, but they said if Dominic will join Judgment Day, they will not take Rey's head off. Dominic got in the ring, shielded his father, I almost said son, and said he will join Judgment Day. However, Priest said that it does not work that way. And then Priest and Balor attacked Dominic, but the Mysterios were able to escape the carnage and possible concerto from Judgment Day. We had Seth Franklin Rollins backstage talking about Matt Riddle being stupid. Ezekiel confronted Rollins, and basically a match was set up between these guys. Ezekiel was fired up. They went to the outside of the ring. He got up to the top, but Rollins knocked him off. And then Rollins did this springboard move off the rope, and he hit this big knee to the back of Ezekiel, or right to the head, kind of like the head, the neck area. Rollins went for a stomp, but he missed. The two of them exchanged near falls back and forth. Rollins came off the top, but got caught with a knee. However, he was able to kick out. Rollins then did his superplex Falcon Arrow combo. Ezekiel kicked out of that. Rollins then hit the stomp and got the 1-2-3 victory over Ezekiel. Good match here. I liked it. Hamp Connor with a $2 super chat. Sent in a $2 super chat. Thank you for that, Hamp. Says, without Edge, the Judgment Day are just a bunch of rejects. I do feel that the group is lacking something, especially with Rhea Ripley out. But one thing I will say is Balor and Priest are being protected in the booking right now. It's not like they're Retribution out there doing comedy and losing. They're actually picking up wins. So it could be worse. Could be worse for those guys right now. We had Dominic and Mysterio. Afterwards, they had talked about the upcoming 20-year anniversary, not 25, 20-year anniversary of Rey Mysterio's debut. And Rey said after the celebration, they are going to take care of Balor and Priest. That tag team match is set up for next week at Madison Square Garden. And also, we had backstage promos from Priest and Balor. They basically said Dominic failed the test and he should have cracked his father's skull, and he did not. And next week, the Mysterios will fall. We had the Usos arrive. We had them out there watching Angelo Dawkins versus Omos. Montez Ford was trying to interfere. He grabbed the foot of Omos, and Dawkins started to build some momentum, but then MVP tripped Dawkins, causing a disqualification. MVP was mad because the referee did not see what Ford did, and of course MVP got caught, so he was pissed off. Adam Pearce came out there, said he had a solution. When Adam Pearce comes out there, you know exactly what's happening here. Holla, 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 playa, tag team match after the commercial break. Michael Wayne knows what this means. Letter grade down. So, of course, we get this match, quickly ends in a DQ, turns into a tag team match after the break, blah, blah, blah. Same old stuff every week. So now we had the Street Profits versus MVP and Omos. MVP was still in his suit wrestling. Omos beat down Dawkins for a while. MVP tagged in. He hit the balling elbow, but only got a 1 count. Ford got a tag. Omos tagged back in. Omos hit a big boot, but Dawkins broke up the pin. Things started to break down. Dawkins threw MVP into the Usos, and this always happens. Every time somebody's on the outside, they end up being part of the physicality. Happens every time. Psycho Jet Black, I did not forget your super chat. I said I was going to save that for the end since it's off topic. Dawkins was out of the picture. The Street Profits hit the double super kick to Omos with the referee distracted. Actually, he was not out of the picture. My bad. What happened was the referee got distracted when the Usos were attacked and MVP got thrown into them. So the Street Profits hit a double super kick to Omos. And then Ford hit the big frog splash. Only got a 1 count on Omos. And Ford was in disbelief. But then Jay knocked Ford off the apron, causing another disqualification. So you had like this 15, 20-minute time with these guys, 2 DQs, nothing really settled here. Omos hit a double choke slam, and then the Usos held up the titles. Whatever, man. I felt this was all filler. Did absolutely nothing for me to get me hyped up for the match. They did have the graphic of Jeff Jarrett, but yeah, whatever. And then backstage, Veer, remember Veer? He said boo to the interviewer and then walked off. And then Miz showed up and was interviewed and talked about how if Logan Paul did not like being his tag team partner, Logan Paul is not going to like being his opponent. Ooh, Miz, big scary guy. We had AJ Styles versus Theory, one of those matches where Theory should not be losing, but WWE should be doing something better with AJ Styles, so it's kind of like, why are they doing this match? Theory cut a pre-match promo, and he talked about how he's going to win the U.S. title, cash in Money in the Bank. Crowd was doing the what chants, and they were doing the what chants so much that he acknowledged the chants. He told the crowd to shut their mouths. He showed the footage of Brock Lesnar destroying Otis and Gable last week, and Theory said the people don't like him. Wrestlers don't like him, and that's because they're all jealous. And then he showed the Ziggler footage, said Ziggler is jealous. Styles arrived, said he's going to be first in line if Theory wins anything at SummerSlam. Crowd was chanting for AJ Styles. And Styles said the locker room just thinks Theory is a big jackass. Theory then rebounded by saying, what the hell has AJ Styles been doing all those years when he was a young man at Theory's age? Basically, without saying it, working in the Bush Leagues, TNA/Impact Wrestling. Styles said he's proud of his background, and he said that he is going to knock some respect into Theory. And then he threw a punch at him. Ziggler arrived, and we had a match. Theory versus AJ Styles. Theory slipped to the outside, shoved Dolph Ziggler. We already saw this earlier with the Usos at ringside, so we got more of this crap. Some guy is sitting on the outside of the ring, and he's getting involved in the physicality. Styles worked over Theory for a bit, but then after the break, Theory gained control. Both ended up on the outside. Theory almost sent Styles into Ziggler. And then when the referee was checking on Styles, Ziggler hit Theory with a super kick. And Theory got counted out. So we had 2 DQs and then a count out. A lot of DQs and count outs lately in WWE, but whatever. Afterwards, again, they shouldn't have booked the match in the first place if you don't want somebody going over the other guy. Just saying. I mean, there have definitely been worse DQs and countouts than this week, but still not really a big fan. And then afterwards, Styles hit the Styles Clash on Theory. Ziggler was just sitting there smiling. And remember, it's Bobby Lashley versus Theory, but now they've kind of turned the attention to Ziggler and Theory. So what's going on here? I don't know. No Bobby Lashley on this show. And AJ Styles has no direction for SummerSlam. We had Alexa Bliss, Asuka, and Dana Brooke versus Doudrop, Nikki Ash, and Tamina. This quickly turned into a comedy match because Reggie randomly showed up. Tozawa rolled up Dana Brooke to win the 24/7 title. Then Nikki won the title. Alexa Bliss DDT'd Nikki to win the title. I guess at this point it wasn't counting for the actual match that they were having. Whatever. So Alexa Bliss wins the 24/7 title. Then Doudrop pins Alexa. Then Tamina pins Doudrop. And then Dana rose up Doudrop to win the title. So, one of those right back where it started, runs off. And then I guess at this point, we're back to the regular match. Asuka comes in, hits the Asuka kick, and submits Nikki with the Asuka lock. Like, this was really dumb. Like, we're still doing the 24/7 title stuff, and now we got Alexa Bliss and Asuka caught up in this. Although Asuka wasn't involved in a title change. Thankfully, poor Alexa, though, she's now winning and losing the 24/7 title. Her first time for Asuka. Not Asuka, Alexa Bliss. First time for Alexa Bliss. Congratulations, Alexa, on winning and losing the 24/7 title. Good for you. Hamp Kano with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Hamp. Says, SummerSlam is nothing but WrestleMania all over again. The 24/7 title is lame. And if we don't get a contract signing next week, I will super chat you $20. Looks like I'm not getting $20 then, in all likelihood. But thank you for that, Hamp. And, SummerSlam's like WrestleMania all over again. WrestleMania is like the Royal Rumble all over again. Royal Rumble is like Survivor Series all over again. You kind of get the picture here. Psycho Jet Black with a $2 super chat says, why isn't Alexa Bliss feuding for the women's title? Because Becky Lynch is big time Bex and Bianca's the champion, and that's what they're doing. They're running that feud into the ground. Maybe if Alexa's lucky, she'll get an opportunity at some point, but yeah. Creative has nothing for Alexa Bliss right now. She's just kind of there. So then we had our main event segment of the evening, which was Miz TV with Logan Paul as the special guest of the show. Footage was shown of Miz doing this celebrity charity baseball game, something like that. And Logan Paul came to the ring. Seemed like he got a decent reaction, like not all boos, but not all cheers either. He just wanted to know flat out, does Miz accept the challenge? Miz was trying to talk him into doing the tag team thing, showed the footage of WrestleMania, but conveniently did not show the footage of the attack afterwards. Logan Paul made sure we saw that footage where Miz gave him the skull-crushing finale. And Miz tried to praise Logan Paul, said that he has a lot of potential, but Logan Paul is not ready. Basically, he is a rookie, needs to earn the match, and the challenge has been denied. Paul then took off his jacket and said that when people tell him he can't do things, that just motivates him. He said that he will prove Miz wrong. He will be back at MSG next week to host his own version of Miz TV. Miz said the answer is still no. And then Paul hit him where it hurts. Said he has 2 blueberries in his pockets, or his pants, I should say. Got the Orange Cassidy on the brain here. He got the crowd to chant tiny balls. Miz revealed his shirt that said massive balls, and Miz accepted the match. Tried to attack Paul, but was unsuccessful. Paul took him down through some punches. Ciampa then came in, attacked Paul. 2-on-1 attack, but Paul was able to escape. And the Miz got on the mic and just basically said he's the Miz and he's awesome. He's going to beat Logan Paul at SummerSlam. Yada, yada, yada. And that was it. So that was Raw, everybody. Logan Paul officially facing the Miz one-on-one at the Summerfest. Building Nexus with a $2 super chat says next week is the real test for Logan Paul. Yeah, that will be interesting because that's MSG. That's WWE's home base. If Logan Paul gets booed there, it's not going to be a good sign for him. If he gets cheered, though, then he's going to be in pretty good shape. So I do agree with you on that take that next week will be a test for Paul. And Seth Rollins sent in a $2 super chat, says, when can I expect my beloved Bayley to return? Rumor has it she's going to be in Nashville for SummerSlam, although she kind of tried to downplay that on Twitter. I mean, she's really due back at any time, right? She's apparently been at the Performance Center, and you would expect she's going to be back very soon. But we keep saying that. We keep thinking she's going to be back, and she hasn't. It's been a tough road to recovery for her. So I do have a few more super chats. All in all, Raw was okay. C+. Again, it feels like recent WWE shows, a lot of filler, decent build up for SummerSlam, but nothing great. Next week's going to be a much bigger deal with the go home show. Next week actually does feel like a pretty big show with the Rey Mysterio 20-year anniversary. Roman Reigns, the WWE champion, rare appearance on Monday Night Raw. So that's next week. And I guess Logan Paul is going to try to do something and get over with the MSG fans. Next week should be a much bigger show. But this week, skippable for the most part. I would say I probably would not recommend this show, but it was okay. TJS sent in a $5 super chat, says, Raw is unwatchable. Great background noise. And he said he'll be sad when Better Call Saul ends. I agree 100% on that. He said, answer at the end, which I'm doing. Thoughts on the Ric Flair angle and opponents? Embarrassing? I like the match. So for those of you that missed it, it was officially announced Ric Flair will team up with his son-in-law, Andrade, against Double J, Jeff Jarrett, and Jay Lethal. So all the shots that Ric Flair was taking at Jay Lethal on social media, all part of the work. And they did this angle where Jay Lethal attacked Ric Flair in a parking lot, made him bleed. Actually, I think it was Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett came over, tried to help Ric Flair, and Ric Flair told him to F off, basically. So Jeff Jarrett attacked Ric Flair, busted him open, and then Flair announced that Andrade will be his tag team partner. So what did I think of the setup and the match? Psycho Jet Black sent in $2 and says, are you excited for Ric Flair versus Slapnuts one more time? I like the match on paper, but that angle I thought was kind of cheesy. The acting was not very good. Like Ric Flair reacting to getting punched in the gut. I have a pacemaker there or some crap. It was just really goofy in my opinion. and Karen Jarrett coming in there and all that stuff. I thought the acting was really amateur hour, in my opinion. But I do think it's a good match if you're going to have Ric Flair out there one more time. It's going to be Jay Lethal and Andrade doing 95% of the work. And Jeff Jarrett will basically be there to take the fall. He'll get put in the figure 4, and that'll be the finish. Most likely, that's what I expect. Jeff Jarrett will lose, and that's how Ric Flair gets his hand raised. So I think with the smoke and mirrors, they'll get through it. Ric Flair will tag in, do his chops, and maybe a hip toss, and maybe he'll take his bump off the top. He'll take his one bump, and then he'll put on the figure 4, win the match. But 95% of the match will be the young guys in this one. I'm sure they'll. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty confident they'll pull it off, and it'll be good. Psycho Jet Black with a $2 super chat says, will Beetlejuice be the special guest referee? I sure hope not. I do not think that would be a very good idea. I really don't think they need any special guest referee. I mean, maybe have Earl Hebner be the referee for this match, or somebody cool like that. Somebody with that legacy to be the referee, but don't bring in like a D-list celebrity or anything like that. So anyways, thank you all for tuning in tonight. I very much appreciate your viewership and support. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up on YouTube and comment on YouTube your thoughts on the Ric Flair match. Thumbs up or thumbs down? Let me know on YouTube. Teaching in Color X sent in a $2 super chat. Thank you for that. Says, was this show PG or does TV 14 start next week? It was TV 14. Apparently that memo about it being this week was inaccurate or premature or whatever. But apparently there's still a plan for the show to go TV 14. And like I said before on the No DQ review and on Twitter, I really don't expect much of a change here. Like, if anything, it's just going to mean more Vince McMahon toilet humor. People getting feces dumped on them and people getting urinated on. That's what I think. And maybe a few more swear words, but that's pretty much it. That's all I got for tonight, everybody. Have a great week. Again, I very much appreciate the support for No DQ and the YouTube channel. Take care, everybody, and I will see you all next time. And remember, say yes to NoDQ.com. Take care, everyone.